Okay, hello, welcome. 25 NL and 50 NL, although I'm still on the waiting list for 50 NL, so at the moment I only have a few 25 NL tables running, but that should be okay. What's not okay is the slow internet connection. I hope this will get better. So let me see, I currently have 4 tables. 4 25 NL tables, and I think I'm on the waiting list. Kings, we are going to 3-bet them. 4-3 suited obviously is a fold to a raise and a re-raise. And unfortunately, no further action with our kings. Yeah, so it's been a while. I was a bit quiet over the past few weeks because I moved from one flat to another, and then I didn't have internet and so on. But now I'm back, planning to stream a bit more regularly again. And planning to explain my actions, obviously. Don't think I need to explain why I'm folding 9 deuce off under the gun, though. Yeah, so these 50 NL tables are small. I'll move them out of the way. No, I'm making them small, I mean. King 6, we can fold. And here we have another one of these. I'll just make them small, and if we get a seat at one of the tables, then we can see how we realign them. But for now, we can just concentrate on these bigger ones. Okay, 9-3 off is a fold, but it's interesting to see that the button min raised. That's something I start seeing more and more. King 7 off is a fold in the cutoff. Ooh, here we have ace jack versus pocket kings. All in. I missed the action there, but my guess is that there wasn't the sharpest player. Now we have ace jack, but it's offsuit. Just fine though. There is an early position raise. Yeah, I think ace jack off is probably a fold, and this looks very nitty, but I don't think it's very profitable to raise there. I don't think it's wrong necessarily to 3-bet ace jack off, but I don't think it is great either. So yeah, I wish I could have showed you a bit more action, but I still decided to take the best route rather than just forcing action because it's a stream. And we have ace king and we have ace 10. So ace 10 low jack is actually a little bit, again, no, it is slightly too weak to open. So just folding it and no action with ace king, unfortunately. So yeah, if these tables do play out very tight, then maybe I will start opening slightly wider, although ace 10 off still is kind of like just about break even. And yes, you could justify it because we have some antes, but still. Right, here we're getting 3-bet by the button. We have jack 10 suited. This is another fold just. I'm letting him bully me, yes, but he made it quite big, almost 4x. And jack 10 suited doesn't play well as a call. And I could, of course, 4-bet, but it's not an ideal candidate for that either. But hey, here's the thing, and that's the important bit. Just don't obsess about that. Let people do what what some people might consider bullying. I don't think this guy was bullying me. It's certainly nothing personal. We don't know each other. So just be patient and it's fine. And if you end up folding to 3 or 4 3-bets in a row because like every time you're just at the bottom of your range, then so be it. That's not a problem. You're still making money by doing the right thing there. Because I know a lot of players, they want to battle, they get in there, they might 4-bet. And yes, 4-betting Jack 10 suited there wouldn't have been a terrible idea, but it wouldn't have been a great one either. So I thought folding was fine. Here we now get min clicked almost, min 3-bet. That isn't very strong, but I'm still just going to call this one. Monkey in the middle, I don't really love it. But we're getting a good price, and if we hit, then we'll do well. Here now, once he goes that big, even though we have the 9 of spades, when he goes this big, like more than a half pot, I think I just need to fold, especially with a player behind. So again, being very nitty. Ace 10 off against the low jack raise is another fold, so I am sorry that I keep folding here, but this is just how it is. Now we can 3-bet king queen. So let's see. He calls, and we don't have much. We do have 2 overs though. I am going to go with a bit under half pot. Definitely want to c-bet this one because we can get some hands to fold already. And here we go. Okay, king jack off. We get raised. We could 3-bet. We could call. I'm gonna call here. We got pretty good cards in position. When he checks, we have the second nut, no pair. I will just check behind. Now we're picking up a flush draw. He checks again. I think we still have some showdown value. And is there any merit in turning this into a bluff now? So I win against everything that doesn't have anything, and I don't think I can get a pair to fold unless I go maybe really big. So I'll just check, and yeah, he did have a 5 there. But that was okay. I had quite some outs there, a bit of equity, so that is all okay. Did he have, just want to check, was it 5-6 offsuit? No, it was 5-6 suited, okay. Yeah, I mean, there were ways to win that hand, but I still think there's nothing wrong to just take the showdown value route there. And once I got to the river, I just didn't think that I could fold out a pair. So what do I represent there? Yes, I could have an ace that I slow played despite the flush. Queen jack off, this is another one to fold in early position. Okay, pocket threes become a very easy fold after a raise in a 3-bet. Queen 8 off, I will raise this one on the button. And we get it through. Jack 4 suited in the big blind. This will be a 3-bet. Yep, if we are getting raised, we are going to 3-bet this hand. This is a perfect candidate for a 3-bet blind versus blind. Obviously, it's a fold if you 4-bets. But he folds, so we pick it up with Jack 4 suited. Yes, I need to study blind versus blind play a bit more. That is my big next thing that I want to do. Because as traditionally someone who has played live for 10 years, 11 years almost, I never had to study blind versus blind because that just happens so rarely in live poker that it's not worth studying it. But now that I play more online poker, it definitely is worth it. Right, here we have top set, and this is the one time where we could consider checking behind, but I'm gonna c-bet. Well, okay. The reason why I c-bet there was because the guy started the hand with 80 big blinds rather than a full stack. So I thought if he has anything there, he would continue because he's probably not a crusher. But he snap folded. Well, of course, you never know if he had taken a stab or if he had improved. I was about to check back there, but I still thought just going for the small range bet is fine. Unfortunately, he didn't have anything. He just folded. And we move on. So still no table at 50 NL. Or no seat, I should say. But 25 NL seems quite lively. So I don't mind that. So if you have any questions about hands that I fold or that I don't fold or whatever, please write them in the chat. I'm very happy to go over them. So here I raised King 10 off on the cutoff, got 3-bet by the button. I think this is a different one to before, but here I can now become a little bit more gutsy because I have a king as a blocker and it's the button that 3-bet the cutoff, and we do get it through. So this is the one situation where I like to 4-bet bluff because I think players over 3-bet on the button because most players don't really have a calling range on the button, so they then just go too wide with their 3-bets, and I think that's then quite good to 4-bet them. Now I didn't do that earlier. Okay, here same thing basically. We have an ace blocker. I'm just going with the 3-bet. But yeah, earlier I didn't 4-bet with Jack 10 suited for two reasons. One, he made it 4x rather than just 3, and the other reason was because Jack 10 doesn't really have a blocker, but King 10, even though it was offsuit, it has a king blocker, so overall it just makes it less likely that he's got something. Right, Ace Jack is against an early position raise is just a fold, I think, although you could argue that you can call. Now there is a raise to 3x on the button, and there is another raise there, 3-bet. I'm definitely going to cold 4-bet this one. But this was interesting because this guy earlier, if I'm not mistaken, he raised to 2x on the button. So that suggests that he has a slightly bigger hand, but well, maybe not. And now let's see what this guy does after my 4-bet. He calls, and there is the ace that we didn't want to see. There's the ace we definitely did not want to see. But I am going to go really small on this flop. This is not ideal, obviously, with the ace. He is tanking for a while, and now he just folded. So yeah, it was maybe a bit unlucky. He might have had queens or jacks even, although maybe he would still call those, although he shouldn't. But hey, at least we won the pot and we improved our red line. So it's not too bad. Okay, then we have a limper. That's great. No reason to raise this one. We can see a free flop with a good ace, and this is a pretty good board for us. I am actually going to bet it, because if I get him to fold a hand like 10-8 or so, that would already be fine. Now that he called, I am still gonna bet. I'm gonna go a bit bigger now. I'm going to overbet this one to try to fold out a pair. It doesn't, and now we break, and once we break there, I think now we have to give up. If we had made our hand, I would have gone really big here, targeting a jack, but now I think it's time to give up. He bets pot on this river. Could be a misflush draw, but because we have two hearts as well, it seems quite unlikely. So that's okay. We can just fold. He did open limp, so I'm gonna make a note of that and then see how he proceeds next time. Jack deuce off, just gonna fold in the small blind, even though it folds around to me. Yes, I've changed the layout of this, or not the layout, I think it's the design, I should call it, of the tables. I have these red ones now. Let me know what you think about them. I quite like the red. I think it's a good contrast as well to the four-color deck that I'm using. Okay, pocket sixes in the big blind against a button raise, assuming the small blind folds. Yeah, he does fold. 3x raise, I'm still gonna call, but I don't expect this to be super profitable. Because if I hit a set, I don't think villain will be aggressive enough, and this is already quite... This is interesting. I am gonna call here once, but I don't love it. He keeps barreling and he's just betting big. I mean, don't really know why he bet so big on the flop and on the turn. And again, we made 3x pre-flop. I'm just gonna fold now. Yeah, not really sure, but I can't continue there, and you could argue that I should have folded on the flop already. Here I can remove the ones. This guy seems to be an open limper. That's annoying. I would have had trips, but if I have deuce suited, I'm never gonna complete there in the small blind. And this player gets the non-crusher tag as well. Okay, ace jack suited. Ace 9 off on the button. But against an early position raise, there's not much I can do. Okay, 10-4 suited, definitely folding, especially in this multi-way situation. Okay, so this is annoying here with the ace-jack suited, but let's look at it. So we got called by the cutoff, and then the button makes it pretty big, and he doesn't have a full stack, so I think he probably has us beat. So I have to fold there. Here I'm raising 10-8 suited, cutoff very marginal. I normally don't actually. Oh yeah, look at this. Actually, wow. He only had king queen, but the other guy had queens. So he cold called with, he just flat called with queens. Okay, let's see. Here we flop middle pair, but we're out of position, so definitely starting with a check. So that's interesting. Squeezed big with king queen off. Here we can call this one. I'm just gonna check. I don't think going for thin value is a thing with second pair no kicker. Okay, we got our first seat at a 50 NL table. Oh, he won it, but I didn't see what he had. Oh my goodness. He had 10-9. Wow, okay. Okay, 8-7 suited is a fold for me in this position. Okay, pocket kings. This is one we can 3-bet, of course. And fold. Okay, I am have to fold again. I'm going to get rid of this table because I don't want to play more than 4 tables, and I now have the 50 NL table coming up very soon. So I will get rid of one of these. Okay, here we can raise here. This is quite a big ISO, but I still think we can 3-bet with ace jack off. Okay, let's see what the razor does. He folds to our 3-bet. Excellent. Oh. Okay, so we are out here. That's great. And we can move the 50 NL table right here. Here I'm going to say, oh, here we have a raise. We can 3-bet 7-8 suited in the big blind, low frequency. Okay, we have an open ender on this board. So I am going to check with a view to check raise if he takes a stab, although he probably shouldn't take a lot of stabs. But that will look very strong if I do that, yep. So I'm gonna go rather small. Just going to go 19 to keep him in there if he has an ace, if he has any other pair. I don't mind if he calls, but he just folds now, so it's great to take it down with 8 high. But that's the thing, like I gave him some rope there. Here we can raise a6 off. Out of position on this board. I'm just gonna check. Okay, king, queen, got 3-bet. There's a cold call, but there's not that much I can do. Just going to fold here. I'm just going to continue checking. He now bets half pot. We are going to call. And we brick. He now bets pretty big. Yeah, he didn't filter at all. But that's the guy who flatted earlier. I just think he does have it too often to continue there. Yeah, so the 7-8 suited hand, that was quite interesting. Cutoff raise, we have 7-8 suited in the big blind. That's one of those where we can... Sorry, I'm just being distracted because I'm going to 3-bet my king queen off on the button. Where we can 3-bet as a bluff in the big blind, because it's always hard to find good bluffs in the big blind. That is a good one. And then on ace 5-6 we have an open ender. Okay, here we are getting 4-bet, so we are just going to fold. But now we are going to 3-bet again, this time with ace check off. Yeah, so then when I had the open ender there with the ace high board, it's quite tempting to just start with a c-bet, but if we check there, he might just do some silly stuff. Okay, we're getting 4-bet again by this player. I don't have any information about him. I will fold. Here, I'll also have to fold. Yeah, there's no point in calling, obviously, and jamming is quite risky. So yeah, we've got 4-bet twice now within less than a minute. On different tables though. But that's okay. You try 3-bet, if you get 4-bet, and you don't have a hand, you usually fold. Jack 10 off as a fold in the hijack. So we are still on the waiting lists for the other 50 NL tables. And here we have ace jack again. Of course we are raising. Get called. This is a pretty good one. I'm just going to start with a check. Okay, here we can go with a bet. Now I want to get some money in there. I'll go rather big. If it does happen to have a weak ace, but he just folds, okay. Right, we are gonna have a seat at another 50 NL table. While here we get cold called. Let's That's interesting. Let's see what this guy does. King 10 off. I'm gonna raise it. Okay, this is pretty good, but I still have to be careful. I am gonna start with a check. We are quite deep. He checks behind, so now I think I can start going for some value. I'm gonna go for half pot. If he has jacks, tens, nines, he'll call. Here I'm gonna c-bet. Here I am getting 3-bet. This is not a great, still going to go for some value. Here I am gonna fold to this big 3-bet. Here we can get rid of this one. And you fold it. This is a situation with top pair, top kicker there. If he raises me, that is of just a fold. Okay, is there a table? I probably want to just get out of this one as well. Oh, pocket aces, nice. And I think soon we'll have only 50 NL tables. Okay, the small blind called us. Come on. Okay, we are gonna start with a c-bet. And everyone folds to our aces. We are quite used to that. Okay, now we have a gut shot. And I am going to go with a bet again. Hoping to fold out pocket pairs that called on the flop. And if we get called, well, we have a gut shot. And we might even have a jack or a 10 as an out. And he does fold, so that is great news. We can get out of this table as well. So now we have all these tables. At the moment we're not live, but we are here now. Right, that we're not live yet. Okay, pocket nines. I don't want to 3-bet. I'm just going to call that against the cutoff. Definitely calling a c-bet. Yep, he bet there. Definitely calling. Now we pick up a gut shot with our underpair to the top card. And now the question is, can we go for value? I don't think so. We could, of course, try, but if the 7 hadn't paired, then maybe more so, because then you could have a 5 or a 7 or an underpair. But now, if he has a 7, then we obviously lose. But he didn't bluff this one on the river, so that's fine too. Okay, so I will soon only have 50 NL tables, so I'm just playing this last orbit. Even though the table is not bad actually, the 25 NL one. Ace-5 suited in the big blind. Here we have 9-5 suited, so this is also coming up now. Okay, let's see. Fold, fold. Here we can call. And we completely whiff it. Very quick check there. We do have... I'm gonna go with an overbet. Because we do have... Yep, we get it through. We also had a gut shot at ace high. So I think that was a decent candidate to go for a raise. Okay, checking my pocket tens. Sorry, I didn't mean raise, for an overbet there. Okay, he bets quite big, definitely calling this. Okay, he checked the turn. Now, definitely checking the river. He did have the ace there. Okay. Okay, so only 50 NL tables left now. Did alright at the others, I believe. I didn't win a lot, but we won a little bit. 25 NL. And not to forget, we get 33% rake back. So that should always add a little bit. Okay. So 8 run 3 says the stack size and names are not so visible on the white of the table. Yep, you are right with that. That is actually a very good point. I did notice that as well. The problem is that I don't think I can change that midway through a session. I mean, I can change it, but it won't change it here, only for new tables that I open, if I'm not mistaken. But let's just see quickly. Okay, this should be better. Oh yeah, it did change. Okay, excellent. So, yeah, this should be better now. This will be better. I did quite like the red, but you are right. The white around the table is just silly. So this is much better now. Thank you for the feedback. That's very useful and much appreciated. Oh, look at this. Aces versus ace 10 all in. Connection is back to normal. Well, I'm very pleased to hear that. Pocket kings. Let's raise them up. Bad boys, cowboys. Oh, we have a short stack in the small blind. Would be nice if he shoved. But he folds. Everyone folds. Everyone folded earlier when I had aces. Now they fold when I have kings, although I did get a tiny bit of action with kings before. Not that much though, and then the ace came on the flop, but we still won that. Okay, pocket fives now in the big blind against the button raise. This is a tricky one because it's just so short stacked, but I still can't fold this hand, but I'm not expecting to do very well. He makes it so small. Normally I think this would be even a fold, but because he might not be the best player in the pool, I would suspect. I am going to call here once, because he could just do it with some whatever, unpaired hands. And yeah, so now this river I am actually going to go for value myself. I mean, this is extremely thin, but I still want to do it so that he maybe calls with ace high. If we get raised, obviously we have to fold. He does call though. Oh, he did have a queen. Wow. He did have a queen. Okay, well that's fine. Value owning yourself is part of the game. Okay, Alex the Great calls us. We have a backdoor flush draw, a very weak backdoor straight draw, 2 overs. I'm gonna start with a check this time. The ace is not bad. Still gonna check again, because this will make him feel quite safe, I guess. So he might even bet out, and if not, I can just go for a decent sized bet on this river. Yeah, that's what's happening. So we can go maybe even with a small overbet now. I don't expect him to have much there with this line, but he might still look me up if he has a pocket pair, if he has a 5 or a 6. But he does not. He folds. And we have kings again. 10-7 off, just folding. Kings, just raising. And are we getting any action now? Probably not. Nope, once again everyone folds to our raise. Gonna fold this. Gonna 3-bet up here. Yes, so 8 run 3 says I like the red 2 with the black cards. If the rail was gray, it would be better, but can't be fixed. Yep, that is exactly what's going on. I like that too. Okay, here we're getting cold by the button. Here we can raise. Okay, this is a tricky one, but I think his range consists of so many decent, better hands that I want to just check my pocket 8s behind. Because the thing is, his range there is kind of 9s, 10s, jacks, queens. And now he bets over half pot. I just think I have to fold. I mean, this guy is definitely a recreational player. He's playing on his phone. He cold called a 3-bet. I'm just out with my 8s. I don't think it's a slam dunk fold, but I do think it is quite a fold. Okay, going to 3-bet ace-4 off. Getting it through. Got ace-jack again. Getting 3-bet by a short stack and another cold call there. That's interesting. Here we can definitely raise. So I'm gonna say cold 3-bet. Yeah, I mean, if he does that more often, maybe I should have played differently earlier. Okay, because he makes it quite small, we don't really have a lot of 2x in our range, so I am gonna call here once. Now we have a gut shot. The thing is, he might as well have an ace. I am going to... I'm gonna... Am I going to bet this one? The problem is I don't represent much. Okay, he had ace 6. It's a split pot, but yeah, it would have been nice actually to bluff him off that. But I was just worried that it would still call with an ace unless I go big. But the problem is if I go big, I don't really represent that much because I rarely have a deuce there. And then, yeah, what, pocket threes? And I probably wouldn't go big with the 9 or whatever the top card was. Which is why I didn't go for the bluff. Instead, I took my showdown value. If he had a hand like King Queen, King Jack would have won, and against other weakish aces, we can, well, we just chop as we did. I did consider 3-betting ace 5 suited originally, but ace 5 suited in the big blind is not necessarily so much a 3-bet. Okay, King 6 suited, even though it's to 8.8 X raise, I'm just gonna call. See, he bet small. This is a board where he should actually bet bigger. But I'm still going to fold. I'm out of position. Yes, I have some sort of back doors, but they're just not great. I think it's just easiest to fold. And that's fine. Yes, I think the thumbnail for this video says that I am also playing MTTs, but that is not correct. Got kings again. Let's see if we can get any action now. No, again. And we have kings again. This is ridiculous. Well, let's see if at least there is a raise now. And we can 3-bet. But I had aces once and kings 3 times in a row, and every time everyone just folded. And now not much action either. Let's see if, yeah, our 3-bet with ace queen off goes through as well. At least some good news there. Queen 9 off is a fold. Ace 10 off. In this position I will definitely open it. This is the hijack. Low jack is very marginal. Early position is too early. I'm getting 3-bet though. Again, quite a big 3-bet from a recreational player. It doesn't start the hand with a full stack, so unfortunately I have to fold once again. King queen suited. Nice one to raise. Pocket sixes on a seven-handed game under the gun. It's just a fold. Now it seems tempting to raise, but no. Here we're a monkey in the middle, but I think we have a pretty decent hand. I am going to bet this one now. Okay, king jack suited. This is another one that I'm going to 3-bet. Okay, we got called there, and now I'm just continuing to bet. Okay, here I'm going to put in the cold 4-bet. Oh, and here we are folding, and here we're getting raised. That is interesting. What does he do that with? I am going to call. Okay, this is not going well. Now, I've called 4-bet here. The guy went all in. This guy's tanking. Well, I'm definitely folding. I'm just folding to that. There's not much I can do. Here, there's a donk. We are going to call. And here, this guy bets really big again. I will fold. This is interesting that he keeps betting. And now I really don't have anything, so I have to fold. Yeah, so a few hands that did not go our way at all now. That's very annoying. But that's okay. Here we're raising ace 10. Here we can call ace jack off even though it's a 3x. But this is the guy who just went really big. Here I'm just checking. He bets. I will call. Now this guy here on the left bets. I have a pair and I have a gut shot. Okay, he bets big again, saying that he's got something. Oh, and here this guy bets big again. I'm still gonna call this. And here I think I'm also gonna bluff catch because he's saying that he's got a king. And I just don't think... Yeah, I didn't filter his range at all. So go into call. He did have a king though. A king and a queen. Okay, great. And this guy just keeps barreling. The thing is, he wouldn't even bet an ace that big. Does he? How many nines does he have? Jack 9, really? I block that. I am gonna call this one. He did have the 9. What? How? How on earth did he get that? So he was basically, okay, he bet with nothing, then he picked up the open-ender, and then he picked up the straight. So he was bluffing all the time. Oh, this is really annoying. How did he get there? How on earth did he get there? This is really frustrating. Okay, with ace king, I am just gonna check behind. tripled. Here we are gonna call. Very borderline though. Now that he checks, I think. I mean, I'm never really good, almost never when I check behind. So I might as well try my luck with a bluff. And I get it through. Okay, here the notes are this. Oh, we have aces. Tripled, bluff, then open ender, then straight. Okay. Would be nice to get 3-bet for once at least, but again, like twice aces and 3 times kings where players just all folded. And then I've been paying players off who somehow miraculously got there. So yeah, that is very frustrating. Like one guy has a full house against my bluff catcher, and then the other guy backdoors into a straight after bluffing it off before that, and then I pay him off. Okay, now we have queens. And definitely going to raise them. Quick fold there. Raising queen jack suited. And everyone folds. Yeah, so I did okay at 25 NL, but 50 NL hasn't been going very well, but obviously there's not much of a sample size. So I think that's all okay. Now we are getting 3-bet and have to forfeit our hand. King 10 off. We can raise that in the cutoff. Okay, here 9-8 suited. This is another one that I do want to 3-bet in the big blind against an early position raise. And we get a fold. Excellent. 9 high like a boss. Pocket threes, we fold. Yeah, speaking of 9 high like a boss, William Kassouf, the guy who made this phrase popular, started following me on Instagram the other day. So a big, nice friendship might develop there. Okay, Jack 10. Now I am going to start with a bet. I'm going to go half pot. Okay, now we have a Jack. I'm gonna check now because now I have picked up some showdown value. I might bet the river if he checks, depending on the outcome. So what did he call with on the flop? Well, with either a king, a six, a deuce, and a pocket pair, or a flush draw. Now that he checks, I am going to go for another bet. It won't be huge, but like 40% or so, because you might call with a six, a deuce, pocket fives, fours, threes, sevens, eights, if you didn't three bet those pre-flop. Wow, aces versus ace eight all in. Okay, he called and he mucks. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Great, we got him there. That is very nice, very good thin value bet. And that's why, like earlier, I value owned myself when a guy called with top pair no kicker. But this time I got the money and he called with something weaker. A king 7 is another one that I will just 4-bet. I do like making a nuisance of myself. Blind versus blind. Just put up the pressure on the small blind. And I do like 3-betting a lot anyway. Okay, this is the guy, and this time I am going to give him a rope. I'm just going to check back my ace-9. See what he does. If he bets, I'll probably just go call. Let him believe that I'm tanking. Maybe this will make him... Okay, here we can start with a small bet. He checks now. And I am going to go for value. Here we get check raised, fair enough. Definitely go into call. Okay, we'll lose to ace queen, we'll lose to queen 9 and to a few others. He keeps barreling. We're still drawing to the nuts though. I am going to call this one. And that is not the nuts. He quickly checked. Well, I'm not gonna get any value from him. Do I need to turn this into a bluff? What would I fold out? Don't think anything, so I'm just going to check behind. And he did have queen 9. Okay. He did flop a straight. Now, people are really flopping well against me. Earlier, 2-pair that then turned boat. Now this guy simply just flops straight when I flop top pair with an open ender. So yeah, they're not running very good, but that's okay. Not losing too much either. It's fine. It's all okay. Still think overall I'm playing well. I probably made a couple of mistakes there with some calls. Didn't really think them through enough because I was a bit distracted. That's the problem when you 4-table and you sometimes have 2 or 3 or even 4 tables that need your attention at the same time. But definitely got quite unlucky in a few spots. But that's okay, not complaining. Ace 10 off again, this time completely under the gun, definitely folding. Pocket queens. And now same thing with pocket queens that I had with aces and kings. Just everybody folds. That is quite frustrating today. That I just didn't get any significant action with any of my big hands today. Or I should say I haven't got any so far. I learned a long time ago, someone said that to me, you're not running bad, you have been running bad, because it can change at any point. So I should say, so far, my big hands have not gotten any significant action. But this can change. Okay, this guy 3-betting me again now. Actually, he hasn't 3-bet me much, but I'm still going to call. I mean, he seems very aggressive. We've got over 700 big blinds accumulated there. Okay, so here we are just going to call with ace jack suited. Fortunately, there's not a lot we can do. He bets quite big, and so I have to fold. Frustrating, yes, again, but you have to be patient. I can't do much. This guy is clearly not a crusher, but the one mistake that a lot of players make, I mean, there are many mistakes players make, but one of them is to think that they're so much better and they feel entitled that they have to win. But if it's just not their turn to win those hands, it's very difficult to do it. And it doesn't seem to be my turn to win against this guy. Quite the opposite. He's taking a lot of money from me. Well, that's the name of the game. King Jack in the big blind. Oh yeah, it's the funny big blind where there is someone who posted there, and then there is a small blind, and then there is the big blind. So that first guy he raised, I could go either way, as long as you don't fold. I'm just gonna call, flocking pink top pair, which is pretty good. He checks, and this is a board that I can check back. I'll give him a bit of rope. And now he bets rather small. Could raise, but I'll just call it. Deuce, not great, although I don't think he has a lot of deuce X. We'll see how big he goes. He goes half pot. Can I ever get value from him? I don't think so. Half pot is kind of the size that's borderline, so I am just going to call. And he had aces. Oh my goodness, good that I didn't raise there. He had aces. Okay, so he did get action there with his aces, and I flopped top pair, but because I played it quite passively, that was okay. This guy, King Queen, I am going to call this one because he's quite short stacked, and I don't mind playing this post flop against him, and the positional disadvantage doesn't matter that much because he is rather short stacked. Okay, let's see. There's a few hands where our attention is needed. Here we're checking. Here we're starting with a check on 977. The 5 is all pretty good. Now we can... I mean, there isn't a lot we can get value from. I'd rather do this on the river, but he now bets quite big, definitely calling this. Here I am going to call. Here I am going to turn this into a bluff. And now the queen here. This is interesting. What do we want to do? Do we want to bet? What can he have? I think he will definitely raise us if he has something big. So I didn't really think it through. Okay, he folded. This guy called. Okay, check. Okay, ace. Okay, so we... Oh, let me think this through. He bets really tiny. And he will never fold an ace there. So I'm getting 7-1. Does he ever bet anything worse than this there? I don't really think so. But 7-1, I'm still gonna go for a raise. Because I think I can get him to fold a king. Obviously he's never folding an ace, but yeah, look at this. I think I got him to fold a king there. With this. And what happened there with my king 10? King queen, sorry. Oh, I won it with king queen. Excellent. Didn't even see that. Well, now it's starting to look a little bit brighter. What happened there where I had the queen? I kind of forgot that hand. I was so busy with the others, I didn't even see what happened there. Here I won it, but I think he just folded the river. Okay, here we're going to 3-bet quite big, easy fold with ace 6 suited. Sevens we can raise, ace queen off we can raise. Okay, our friend calls us again. Okay, now we're getting 3-bet. Oh, look at all of this. Here I'm starting with a check. Here I'm going to fold, and to a big 3-bet I'm folding pocket sevens. He bets, that's fine. I mean, now I know that he is quite loose. I'm okay to just call this. He's sizing up, but he's still, I'm not sure. This is... I am gonna fold once again. I'm just if I don't hit anything against him, I don't know if I really have the weaker hand there, but I just don't want to play that guessing game too much. And it would be nice to finally have a hand against him, Although the one time when I did have top pair good kicker, he backdoored into a straight. But yeah, this player has been very frustrating to play against. But we just have to be patient. That's all we can do. I do not want to force it. Okay, 10-9 suited. And there's a raise and a call. I'm not going to 3-bet for sure because this is a short stack, but I do think it's profitable to call the suited connector. Okay, fold this guy. Now I am going to 3-bet him again. Okay, here half pot c-bet. I'm out despite 2 overs and a couple of backdoors. Here we get it through again with our bluff 3-bet. Ace-3, have to fold after. Alexander the Great raises from under the gun. Let's see if we can pick up some playable hands in the near future. Would be quite nice. Six deuce ain't it. Jack 6 ain't it either. 9-6 ain't it either. Triple 10 on the board. Okay, continuing. Not being dealt anything useful. Come on now, would be nice to be able to show you some hands. But all I can do is fold, fold, fold. Yep, 10-9 off is still a fold. Even though I would love to play against this guy, but not if he makes it 3x and I have 10-9 off. Well, now I have deuce 9 off, 6 deuce off, 10-5 off. Just wonderful hands. Okay, 9-8 suited on the button. Maybe this is a hand that we can play. Yeah, I can definitely raise it. Getting 3-bet by Mr. Saint. Okay, there is a cold 4-bet, so then I guess my 9-high is probably not like a boss this time. I would have considered 4-betting or calling the small blind, but definitely don't want to get involved now. Okay, deuces. It's just a fold. Tens will be a raise no matter what. Okay, everyone folds. Ace King versus Deuce Deuce, all in there. Didn't really catch the action. Yeah, I mean it was short stacked, so guess that's okay. Gonna fold 7-6 suited from fairly early position. Okay, there is a poster there. So I'm gonna go a bit bigger, but I'm still not gonna go too big because I'm completely under the gun. And he called me. And another player called me as well. And this is not ideal. It's not impossible that one of them has an ace. So I'll just start with a check. Okay, he bets pot, so that's an easy fold then. Yeah, sorry if I've alienated all of you now, but That's just with these cards that I've been seeing in the last 10 minutes. Haven't been able to do much. And the run continues. Okay, pocket 8. This is an interesting one. I am going to flat call this on the button now because he's short stacked, and if I 3-bet, I don't want to get 4-bet jammed on. So I rather call and flop middle set. That's much nicer. Let's just start with a small bet here. Hopefully someone has an ace. Okay, yeah, hopefully someone has an ace. Now we have a boat. The thing is now I definitely want to continue betting, and I'm just targeting an ace there. And now I shall jam. Here we can call. Here we're gonna call, and here we're just overbet jam. Never gonna fold an ace, I think. I'm just bluff catching here, but against this guy, I'm just gonna pay him off whatever he has. 2-pair this time, great. I mean, I was bluff catching, but still, it's just I can't win a hand against him. Right here, early position raise, then a 3-bet on the button. Think this is very borderline, but we can go for the cold 4-bet to 19 because the 3-bet came on the button. It probably is a bit stronger because it was an early position raise, but we have the ace blocker, we have the queen blocker, which is not that relevant, but still tiny bit. And now he jams over our cold 4-bet, so he is not going to do this with anything weaker than our ace queen, so that is an easy fold, even though it's frustrating that we have to fold again. But I still think that was the right play in this spot. Gonna 3-bet now on my ace 10 off. Gets Mr. Saint on the button. Get it through. Yeah, that player has completely owned me today. I don't think I won a pot against him. He just kept either cracking whatever I had or he just barreled and I didn't hit anything. But these days exist and I know that I'm still much better than him, but yeah, you can't win, or can always win. And this guy now has 865 big blinds. He started out with 100, so when I first saw him, he had 700 and something. So yeah, very frustrating. But what can you do? Getting called. We flop a gut shot with one over. Going to start with a C bet. It's not a problem if we get check raised, but he just folds. Excellent. Pocket deuce is going to be a fold from under the gun. Okay, well, this is it for today. Thank you very much. Let me just check how much we actually lost. So we lost around $60 at 50 NL, so just over one buy-in. But as I said, didn't run great and probably made a couple of mistakes. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you back here soon. Thanks. Bye bye.